Yo guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today we talk about basic rock guitar training. First, lead steps. So, you want to play rock guitar. Now we're doing the first steps to enter the world of the rock lead guitar, which is quite cool. So the very first thing you need to consider is your sound, because rock lead guitar is often played with so-called distortion. Now a big bubble opens up. Well, what kind of distortion? That's a good question. That's a topic which can keep you busy for the next 30 years or more if you want. You will always find out something new. But the really essential part, I'm going to just get a first idea what we're dealing with is the tone. So this is a medium distorted tone. You set the distortion on the gain. You have, and whatever device amplifier you have a gain knob, and there you put the gain up or down. And this is now on 1200 hours, so in the middle position. So it's not such a strong gain. And now when you just play one note like this, probably notice it doesn't sound the way it should sound. And that's we're going to talk about just in a second. But now what happens if you put up the gain level? So I'm going now on max on this amplifier. That means it gets louder, but also the sustain is way longer than with medium gain. So that's really an essential part of doing rock lead guitar, working with the tone and the sustain, because the longer the tone goes, the longer you can do something with the tone. And that, what I would really recommend that you start with medium gain levels, because the more gain you have, the more the tone gets sustained, and the more possibility you have to it up. You know, shaping the tone is the most important thing when it comes to rock lead guitar. I'm going to show you. I have created a little backing track here, and I'm going to play just a few melodies without shaping the tone and then with shaping the tone. That was completely without shaping the tone. Now we shape the tone. So, the most part of shaping the tone happens on the fretboard and not in your amplifier. The amplifier, just as the name is saying, amplifies what you're doing here. So this technique has to be developed, and also this technique, but that we talk about later today. We just talk about how to shape the tone, and we do first examples how we can do that. We're starting with the first example, just playing on one string, in order to really figure out the tone. So the so-called scale on one string, we're doing this on the B string, will be this one here: 0, 3, 5, 8, 10, 12. So now this backing track has 4 chords, and we will follow the chords just with the tone. We're starting here, then we're going, let's say, here, then we go here and back to here. Now while you play, you have to have following tasks going on. First of all, 3, 4, 1, 2, you need to start counting. 1, 2, the next chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, next chords, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. So that's really simple. You have each chord has a duration of 2 times counting 4, and you just start working with the backing, you start counting, and then you start to set the tone. I'll show you. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And now the whole thing starts again. So your very first task, which you should be able to do, is that you learn to count while you play. Okay? That's the proper way to do that. First, because once you want to play lead guitar with somebody else, you need to listen what is going on, you need to be able to count, you need to be able to do a complex task on the fretboard while you're counting. So counting and listening is first when you want to play with others. Very important. Good. Once you are able to do this task, now you probably have some CPU left in your brain to do more tasks. You know, once you can do the basics, you can start to add more tasks because the basic tasks are already working. Now, shaping the tone is quite important, if not to say the most important thing when it comes to rock lead guitar, because when you do nothing, the tone sounds really flat and is not enjoyable. So what we have to do now is the so-called vibrato. Now, you already see it, I'm moving here with the finger, and you have to move the string a little bit like this around the center, not too much, because then you get out of tune. You have to stay in tune and create a nice tone. And now you can already hear what happens if you do it properly. Do you hear the overtones, how they come in? That's the way you shape the tone. If you have more gain on your sound, the more overtones will come in. And the more possibilities you have to shape the tone. That's how the whole thing works. So try to shape the tone. Also try with different fingers. I started with the index finger. You can also maybe the ring finger. And if you take other fingers than the index, the ones behind, like if you take the middle, they help. Okay? Or ring finger. Or pinky. Pinky is probably the biggest challenge because, yeah, it's the pinky. Okay, so now we just play the same thing now with one task more. Together with the backing track and counting. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's shaping the tone, and just with a few simple notes. Now you can also take all the notes, of course. This is just a simple example, and the method is really simple. You build up the basic task is counting, getting the beat, then next task is playing the notes, the correct notes, then the next task is to add some vibrato, control the tone, and now a next task would be play different tones. Now let's see what we can do here. If you want to play different tones, you can use these notes I already showed on one string, then try to improvise, and the trick is to hear what next comes next. So, so these are the notes which are available. You're trained to pre-hear where you want to go, okay? And then you can create your own melody. So now the next task is really more complex because I played now more than just one note. I play more notes. Is to pre-hear which notes fit best, and you immediately hear when something is not correct. Then it sounds unstable. Good. Now another task can be, and this will be the last exercise for today, put the whole thing. Also learn to move the pick. Before I just made down strokes, okay? You have down and up strokes. So when you want to count with here, everything which is 1, 2, everything which is a number, downstroke. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, everything, or 1, 2, 3. You can also hold notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And interesting, I just played one note now, but what did I do during playing this one note? I already started to create a little history of the melody by raising the intensity. See, by raising the intensity of the vibrato, also to raise the intensity of the attack. Even you only play one note, you already have the possibility to start to have a musical story to tell. That's really important. A lot of people think it's about playing complex licks or playing fast, but in fact my philosophy is that you tell a story only with one note. So you can try to You probably have noticed I had played one note which didn't fit, then you immediately hear that it doesn't fit. And you saw I could already tell a little story just with a few notes by raising the intensity. So that will be the next task. Raise the intensity, be able to control the tone. Tone control is extremely important. Before you even learn to play complex stuff, tone control has to come first, okay? And you have to start right from the beginning, because this defines who you are as a guitar player. You want to express emotions, or what I do here with the color red. You don't see it. Here it comes. Where is it? Still not in the picture. Here. Rock is often red. So you can try to put the intensity of red or power, whatever, in the tone. Already start to train this way of thinking while you play notes, and that makes the big difference. See, you can already start to tell a story just with a few notes, and in the whole thing in what you're doing, first you get the beat, then you put the fingers here, get the notes, counting was first, then you play notes, give an expression, now you tell a story. Pre-hear where you want to go, and that's already a lot of things you need to do, and this is all before you even start to play complex stuff. And this method I'm teaching here has to be trained, because controlling the tone also has to go into your automatism, that you know that you're able later to always, wherever you are, control the tone and know where you want to go. That's more important than to play fast. The speed will come anyway one day, but if you don't do this stuff which I'm teaching here, the speed probably comes, but then probably your teacher will say what one of my teachers once said to me, sounds nice but doesn't make any sense. Try to already make sense just right from the beginning. As I said, try to make sense already just from the beginning. That's the key to the qualm of guitar playing, and I can only encourage you to try my method. It's probably different than normal one when you just learn to play licks and then it will come one day. But in fact, if you do this method, it has two advantages. First of all, you can already make music right from the beginning. Second on, if you're getting more an advanced player, your bass is as rock solid as it can be. Then you will always have control over your tone, and then you're going to sound awesome. When you get faster, more complex, if you have your tone under control, then you're the go-to guy. And if you're already an advanced player, never done this before, I can strongly encourage you guys to figure this out. Tone control is, at least in my world of guitar playing, maybe it's not so important. It's the key to the qualm of guitar playing. This cool backing track I've created, you can download it. In the days of AI, you probably don't want to have AI backing tracks, but also AI cannot reproduce what you want to play, or what intent is in a song. It can reproduce genres or whatever, but I created a really cool backing track which encourages you to start to build up your abilities. It's really fun to play, and it's available in the HPCrazy Guitar Community. Please go there, download it, and also write down a few examples of the stuff I just showed. Also start to learn a little bit written notation or notation in general, because it also helps you a lot to control what you're doing here on the fretboard. The more knowledge you have, the better, and you will start from the beginning. You don't have to do it later. Okay. If you love my channel, please subscribe or become a member in the HPCrazy Guitar Community. Share to the world that me and Dr. Pink are existing. See you guys.